Remote closing and high ticket sales is here to stay in 2023. It has really honestly been over the last year been pushed to the forefront of online entrepreneurship as a way of stacking capital and making money online and leaving your 9 to 5. And you should be able to kind of understand what like the sentiment I'm getting at here, considering that you're even watching this video in the first place. Over the last few years of being a high ticket sales rep myself, amongst other things, I've really been able to watch the progression of it go from no one even knows what it is, and I didn't even know what it was until my buddy got like a $10 Gumroad course, kind of going into what phone sales is kind of what we called it back then, and watch it progress over the last few years and evolve, and really within this last year and a half, be catapulted to the forefront by myself as well as other people, and just in general everyone waking up to realize that this is a very, very lucrative way of making money online. If you're interested in getting a brief synopsis of what high ticket sales is in general, make sure to check out the free guide in the description, and also drop a like because I told you to. For those of you who don't know, I started off originally as a sales rep in 2019, taking calls out of my college freshman dorm room. From there, progressed eventually, learned more, started training people ourselves once we were making good money with me and my buddy who I started this business with. And then from there, originally then got the idea for the brokerage business model of Closify, which is a software as a service and a hiring platform for sales representatives. And from there, I've been very fortunate enough to not only help people get opportunities, but also I've been able to interact with and talk with, at this point, literally thousands of reps in the online money-making marketplace. With that being said, I deem myself fairly qualified to be able to talk about this topic in general. And as of right now, it's really been, like I said, pushed to the limelight. More than ever, it has been recognized as a legitimate way of making online income. And more than ever, people have been trying to get into it, which is not a problem. I'm sure you've seen on maybe some different places, if you've been cruising around the internet for long enough and looking at online money long enough, that people will say that dropshipping, SMMA, FBA, or whatever, like all these different business models, when they talk about the business models, and now high ticket sales, like saying it's saturated, there's so many people doing it, like I can't make any money in it, like my mom, sisters, nephews, whatever, like even the kitchen sink has like an online digital marketing agency and runs people's Facebook ads, or at least offers it and says they do, but they don't actually do that. And to that I say that's malarkey. And honestly, if people are saying it's saturated, then that should be a good flag if you're interested in that type of business model. If it's saturated and a lot of people are so supposedly doing it, you're seeing people get results with it, that is proof of concept, or should be confidence and justification to you that you can make money doing that. Sure, maybe other people are doing it, but you simply put just have to be better, put in more time, and if you do that, everyone else is making money, why wouldn't you? Just go and do what they already laid out for you. Not only that, but those business models are directly tied into whatever product it is that they're selling. Whether it's a pooper scooper or some sort of email marketing campaign or service, just honestly in general, for high ticket sales or online sales, or honestly sales in general, literally everything under the sun is for sale. You can quite literally sell anything. So you have a lot of flexibility in that sense. And it's not really even just actually closing like agency services or info products or whatever online. Like I said, everything is for sale. Someone that I very much so look up to in the space recently said on a Zoom that I was sitting in on that anything over 1.5K needs a sales call. And so you could not just either run paid ads or just push any sort of traffic and just get eyeballs onto a landing page for a product that is above 1.5K. You're going to be losing out on a lot of potential customers because the web page, simply put, isn't going to answer all the questions that they have for the product. That's a decent price point, and so they're going to need to be able to kind of have their worries taken care of, be able to answer any charged questions they have, and make sure that they're making the best decision, honestly, for themselves. Now think about that, extrapolate that to other aspects of life, or maybe other things that are like 1.5K or higher. When you go to get a piece of technology, if you go to Best Buy, you got someone, they're talking you through all the different products, they're showing you all the different camera models or the computer models are explaining what i7 Core X3 WIOU means. Or if you go to Apple and you want a new phone, you got someone from the Genius Bar coming over to you to walk you through all the new features that are realistically just the old features, but slightly better, but you can't even tell because your eye retinas aren't even able to technically see the difference. As we move to the online working environment, and a lot of people prefer Zoom over conference rooms, all sales are realistically going to start going online, besides maybe like car sales, because you'd obviously like want to see your new whip in person, right? But just like honestly think about it. For e-com stores, for larger ticket items, there's chatbots and people on the other end of them to go through and walk people through their worries. For business loans, ERC, that's pretty popular right now. All these sales are being done online instead of someone walking in person. People sell freight. People sell those in-house saunas. People sell and cold call to places to get local outlets to be selling their products, whether that's beauty supplies, whether that's clothing, whether that's anything. Literally anything for sale or in bulk that is higher than 1.5K, you need a sales call for, or else you're simply put going to be losing money. And so as everything goes online, there's going to need to be more salespeople to be able to sell those high ticket items and remotely close those individuals. Anything and everything besides what was previously mentioned can be sold online, and becoming accustomed to being able to talk to people over Zoom and be able to close them over Zoom has never, or a phone call has never been honestly more important in this day and age for a lot of individuals, at least the business owners that I would work with. They all wanted to work with individuals who already had online experience. They weren't too favorable to people to door. We had a couple niches that did very well with that, with transitioning to business owners, but there is definitely a different dynamic between sitting down and someone in person and shaking hands with a doctor and selling them pharmaceuticals, rather than having someone be on the other side of a Zoom call or a phone call and making sure that you can get them, while not in person, comfortable enough with you to be able to have you send over a payment link and then them pay that payment link on the call, and then you obviously get them all the resources that they need set up, but you make sure you collect that money on the call. With that being said, there's no perfect time to have really gotten into high ticket sales, but I can tell you right now that right now is a great time, especially with the transition, like I said, to everything online. Sales is going to be, simply put, the fastest way to stack large amounts of capital very quickly based off of your own time frame, considering that you are able to get out as much directly as you put into it. And I'm talking both time and effort. Not touching base with people you couldn't close over the phone, you're losing money. People no-showing to a meeting and you don't touch up with them, you're losing money. Got a pile of leads in your CRM or just lying around in a database of contacts of people who at some point express some sort of interest, and you're not calling those people in between calls or during no-shows when you have downtime as a high-ticket closer, you're losing money. But if you do all of these things, you might just be able to make double, if not more, what you usually would be making, opposed to just sitting down in between calls, scrolling TikTok, doing whatever you want, and just relying on calls booked to a calendar and people being held accountable and actually showing up to make money. However, one thing that I do want to touch on is that with high ticket sales, remote closing, whatever you want to call it, it is not the end all be all. It is not going to be just the skill that you pick up and hopefully you just do for the rest of your life. Think about it. You are inside of a business. You are technically a cog, a wheel, a moving part of a business. And that business is a money-making machine. And you are only getting 10 to 30% commissions off of the entirety of that money. You're getting 10 to 30% of the entire gross income of that business, outside of if by chance there's other representatives also taking calls, and outside of if people are able to just pay through separate methods or whatever. You're only getting a fraction of that entirety of the business. And this is one of the reasons I really like high ticket sales, is because it is a springboard and it is a way to stack vast amounts and large amounts of capital so you can go and do something so that you actually own all of it. and you don't have to consistently be taking calls and trading your time for money and working on someone else's schedule. You can take that capital and then be able to go pay for education, learn more about whatever investment vehicle you want to get into, and not always be the cog. You can move up the fiscal ladder and get to where you want to go to. I always like to refer to it as a means to an end. With that being said, I implore you, if you get into high ticket sales, make sure you look around, you see everything that's going on, and you learn not only how to do sales and be more confident on the call, but you also learn the inner workings of business, because it is going to treat you right later on and do wonders and pay dividends for you further in the future. If you have any questions in regards to that, in high ticket sales, in getting opportunities, in getting training or whatever, make sure to check out my free sales guide, as well as feel free to DM me on any platform that I got listed down there as well. I love answering all of your guys' questions. Been able to add in quite a few testimonials from just the free guide alone and making money based off of the advice that I give you guys in there. Make sure to let me know if you have any questions that are already listed in the guide. With that being said, because I asked you to, and you watched till the end of the video. Going to be making more videos going over sales tips, as well as interviewing people who have success in the sales space, so that you guys can kind of put a name to a face and see more people's journey and kind of compare and contrast it to your own. No shoe is one size fits all, but it's always great to be able to see proof of concept that other people are making money with it, so that you know that you can too. Bye-bye.